everybody, and greetings from Warsaw. I'm Nicholas Richardson, and this is Poland Daily Travel, your favourite travel show, where we talk about travelling on the highways and byways of Poland, when we can travel. And when we can't travel, we chat about travelling and travel-related topics. And I'm delighted to have, by the miracles of modern technology, our normal host, Will Richardson, who is somewhere in the United States. Will, where are you and how are you?
I'm in Miami Beach. I'm very well.
Good. And also we have...
came over here for the waters.
Yes.
No,
yeah.
I came over here to investigate the spring break madness.
And is there a lot of spring break madness at the moment?
There is a whole hullabaloo of spring break madness right here in Miami. It's terrible. There have been the SWAT teams have been out swatting flies and capturing teenagers.
I see. And also delighted to have with us once more our resident expert on all things travel, cinema, and everything in between. It's Harold von Kursk from Tallinn in Estonia. Harold, good to see you. How are you?
Pleased to be with you. Greetings to my fellow panelists.
Excellent. Okay. Now, at the moment...
It's not Hollywood Squares.
It doesn't matter.
All talking head shows, they refer to their guests as panelists. I'm sorry.
Exactly. We are a sort of...
It's not a game show, sorry.
Well, it doesn't matter really, does it? We are a sort of...
all-encompassing term.
Exactly. Stop being pedantic, Will, even though it's your show, technically.
Stop being pedantic?
And one other thing, at the moment, of course, travel is rather...
That's a highfalutin word. What does that mean?
It means just being awkwardly officious and sticking, very narrowly to the meaning of words and rules and things.
You're not calling me a martinet, are you?
Not quite.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps apparatchik.
Yes.
I don't think I'm an apparatchik.
Exactly.
I'm no communist, I can tell you that.
No, you're not a communist, I'll give you that. But one of the things, eventually, hopefully, we'll be able to fly at some point. And I'm just wondering, when you are flying, what do you think is the best time to fly? Which day of the week, which time of the day? I suppose it depends where you're going. Will, what are your thoughts? You've been flying more recently than I have.
Yeah, well, there's a few things about flying the time of your flying that you should take into consideration. First of all, don't fly, if you can avoid it, on a Friday or a Sunday, because Friday is when people are leaving, going somewhere for the weekend. Sundays when they're coming back. So Saturdays are great. Mondays are not always good, but better than Friday or Sunday. But Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Saturdays are great. And you get the best options too. As far as time, to fly off-peak hours, which means after 8 p.m. in the evening, so you're okay on this, except on those transatlantic flights. But going to Europe, because they tend to leave in the evening later, and they're always crowded, at least during non-COVID times. But generally after 8 p.m. or very early in the morning, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, something like that. Harold, anything to add?
Yes, as a former frequent flyer before I was grounded like everyone else by COVID, I always found that taking 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. flights were the best because you beat the morning rush hour traffic, meaning you can take a taxi, it gets you there very, very quickly. And then when you arrive, usually there's many fewer passengers than if you're taking flights at a more hospitable hours, let's say 8 or 9 o'clock. And of course, I always try to travel on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, which usually have the best prices and tend to be less stressful than other days of the week.
Yes, I agree. What about booking a flight? How far in advance do you think is optimum?
Well, in Europe, I usually book about 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks in advance if I have a very precise idea of when I need to be somewhere, let's say for a film festival or a meeting. And I usually use Skyscanner. I find that's the best app around to, in terms of the clarity of the user interface itself. And I find it delivers the best prices. The only thing it doesn't cover is Ryanair, which of course I would never fly if you paid me to, because it's a cattle class airline which tries to insult its passengers as often as possible.
So if I bought you a ticket on Ryanair, you wouldn't
I would not
take
use it. I would not fly Ryanair.
You wouldn't actually use it. Very
Never.
interesting.
Never. Not in a million years.
They quarrel with you about the size of your luggage. That's the
Well,
funniest.
it's cattle class. I mean, EasyJet is good for 20 or 30 euros extra. You can sit in the front row. You can get yourself a good meal. You can get on board first. You can leave first, obviously, if you're in the front row. So if I really want to get on and off a plane quickly, I fly EasyJet, and I paid to sit in the first row.
Which is a little bit extra?
So it's ridiculously cheap. Don't tell this to EasyJet. They'll raise the prices. But I think you pay maybe 20, 30 euros extra maximum, and you're sitting in the front row. And it used to be the case with Vueling or Vueling airlines, but 2-3 years ago, they decided to eliminate their row one VIP class seating arrangement. Now, I wouldn't recommend Vueling at all.
Right. I wasn't familiar with that one. Where's that one from, Vueling?
It's based out of Spain, but for some reason, 2-3 years ago, they changed their policies, and it's become a horrible airline.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think air travel generally is not what it used to be. But alas, it doesn't matter. We're going to have to look at this on a future programme, because yet again, the terrible tentacles of time are flexing their fingers, well, their tentacles anyway, around our collective throats, and we have to bring this episode of Poland Daily Travel to an end. But we'll be back next time, and I hope you'll be back with us. Thank you for watching Poland Daily Travel.